So, you're here to find out what is Golf 3D?
Well, to answer that, we're gonna have to first go back to the Game Maker's Toolkit 2020 Jam. I had participated and submitted my own submission. I called it Crazy Wizard Game. It was about a wizard who kept gaining new spells that he could not control, and these spells would become your obstacles in the game. Eventually, after getting a meteor spell and raining meteors on yourself, and vines that would periodically come out of the screen and block your path, you'd summon demons and then turn them back into humans, which were more deadly than demons, if I'm going to be totally honest. At the very end of the game, after getting through this terrible room that I just took my mouse, just kind of drew tiles. It's horrible, because this little section is so hard to get past. But at the very end of the game, you get a spell. It's called Golf 3D, and this is where the game began.
Golf, 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 golf.
Originally, I had intended it as a one-off joke, just something funny, unexpected. My friend Anthony, however, saw it in a different light. He begged me to make a full game, and eventually, we struck a deal. He was a pretty avid getting over it player at the time, and while he wasn't going for any world records, he was fairly good at the game. He made me a bet that he could get to this area in under 10 minutes. If he was able to, I would have to make the game. I laughed and agreed, thinking that that sort of feat was impossible. However, I had no idea of Anthony's skill. Even after screwing up multiple times, he still had plenty of time to make it. And thus, Golf 3D began.
Welcome to Golf 3D video game. So, you're probably wondering, how'd this all begin? You see, after creating my very own 3D movement system, without any help from Unity's rigid body system, just because. And it took a week, but it was worth it, trust me. So as you can see here, this game is already ingenious, because you can go in the golf hole, and it looks really funny. However, the point of a game called Golf 3D is to golf in 3 dimensions. So that's precisely what we're going to do. If you are close enough to your ball and you click, your character will snap to the ball. Isn't that so cool? And then, if you hold down the left mouse button and move your mouse up and down, your character will begin to swing, which is really cool. And depending on how fast you move your mouse, you can hit the ball. Hooray. Let's get this hole. Yay. Isn't that neat? Anyway. So what you see here is a clip of me getting up my own mountain. As you can see, it is sped up by a lot, because this whole process takes about a minute and nothing interesting happens whatsoever. So, obviously, this needs to be changed. I decided to make the mountains a lot smaller. And as well, I made many changes. I decided that having a ramp that you have to hit your golf ball up just wasn't interesting. So instead, we have these weird little outcroppings of rock. And then at the top of the mountain that you're trying to get to, there's this little dip. There's a little half dome up there, and that's where the hole is. And of course, any good golf game needs a little UI that pops up right after you get a hole, so I made precisely that, as you can see here. And so, having all these systems in place, and the flags in the correct places, I decided to test out the map. So, as I was testing this out, and trying to get up, I realized, wow, this sucks, because you don't have very much control over how far the ball goes. Because if you just swing, there's very little difference between swinging as hard as you can and swinging at a medium range. So I made a fun little system that tracks how far back you pulled back your golf club, and then that limits the maximum speed that it can go at. And after implementing that change, I realized that now, even though the mechanics were great, the level design just isn't very good here. It's annoying, it's stupid, it's precise. So, probably gonna change that eventually. But anyway, this has been a devlog on the development of Golf 3D. It's been fun, it's been great. Hope you enjoyed, and see ya.